The Miami Heat are positioning second-year big man Kell Ware to secure his future as the franchise center. It's a decision that's come in phases, including the mid-season move to introduce Ware to the starting lineup and move Bam Adebayo to power forward. If Ware is going to justify the investment and realize his potential, then there's a simple task ahead of him: improve his consistency, and an NBA draft guru has outlined exactly how that can be done. Sam Vecenie of The Athletic recently published a 2024 NBA redraft. In it, Ware was listed at number 10 overall, up 5 spots from where Miami actually selected him. It was early confirmation of what Heat fans are well aware of. He was an absolute steal of a pick. Vecenie challenged Ware, however, to address his inconsistencies, particularly on the defensive end of the floor. "I tend to over-index on big men doing the non-negotiables at the center position, and right now, Ware doesn't do them. That's why he came in at number 10. I did not think he was a particularly good defender positionally last year." Vecenie continued, acknowledging Ware's strength as a screener but requesting that he improve his execution when he isn't the finisher. Additionally, while part of the appeal of Ware is certainly that ability to leave a screen early and slip to the rim to beat a help defender to a lob, he needs to keep working on his overall screening ability. Vecenie's final note may be the most important of all. Erik Spoelstra is the perfect head coach to help Ware rectify those issues. The good news is that he landed in the perfect spot, as the Heat are very detail-oriented and sharp developmentally. Vecenie offered a glowing review of Ware's unique athletic abilities and impressive production, all the while saying what Heat fans know all too well: the key will be consistency. Sam Vecenie praises Kell Ware, challenges him to address inconsistency. "It's inevitable that a first-year player will have flaws that need to be addressed in order for them to realize their potential. Bouts of inconsistency can arise for a variety of reasons, including players' need to adapt to the pace and physicality of the NBA game. As such, any criticism of Ware's current quality of play is based in the knowledge that he was destined to encounter early hurdles, and, thus, it's meant in a constructive manner. That established, Ware's flashes of star potential were at times overshadowed by fundamental issues with his game. He's sensational at making the big play, including highlight reel dunks, jump shots, and blocks that will send home crowds into a frenzy and road viewers into silence. What the Heat need from Ware in 2025-26 and beyond, however, is reliability in the moments that aren't necessarily going to jump off the screen. Vecenie points out that Ware needs to set more engaged screens when rolling or popping out to the perimeter aren't the result of set actions. He also speaks to the need for a stronger sense of reliability on defense, which can be seen in his positioning and tendency to watch the ball. Despite the room for improvement, Vecenie's primary point on the Ware front was simple when he made him a top 10 pick in the redraft. The talent and upside he possesses are undeniable. Kell Ware has room for improvement, but his upside is absurd. Ware finished his rookie season averaging 9.3 points, 7.4 rebounds, 1.8 offensive boards, 1.1 blocks, 0.6 steals, and 0.5 three-point field goals made in 22.2 minutes per game. That translates to 15.1 points, 12.0 rebounds, 2.9 offensive boards, 1.8 blocks, 1.0 steals, and 0.9 three-point field goals made per 36 minutes. A defensive playmaker and nightly threat to go off for a double-double, Ware has the tools to become a dynamic talent on both ends of the floor. That much was further established once Ware entered the starting lineup. He averaged 10.8 points, 10.0 rebounds, and 1.3 blocks in 28.4 minutes per game as a starter, as well as 16.1 points, 11.8 rebounds, and 1.5 blocks when he played at least 30 minutes. The Heat certainly benefited from his presence, as they went 8-4 over his final 12 starts and were 2.5 points per 100 possessions better when he was on the court for the season. Furthermore, the Heat ranked in the 74th percentile in net rating and the 84th percentile in defensive rating when Adebayo and Ware were on the court together. It was proof positive that a big heavy lineup can work despite their limited opportunities to develop chemistry. Ware still needs to become more consistent in the areas that don't show up in the box score, but the Heat have a captivating talent on their hands. The Golden State Warriors have their new big three in place, as they acquired Jimmy Butler in a trade with the Miami Heat midway through the 2024-25 campaign, pairing him up with Stephen Curry and Draymond Green. This trio will once again lead the way for the Warriors in the upcoming season, with the hope being that they can lead Golden State back to the top of the NBA's proverbial mountain. Butler's departure from the Heat was full of controversy, and he certainly wore out his welcome towards the end of his stint with the team. It got so bad that some fans are calling for veteran wing Haywood Highsmith to start over him for Miami. Now that he's been traded to the Brooklyn Nets, though, Green took a second to loop back around to this absurd request. Draymond Green calls out Jimmy Butler's haters. As the 2024-25 season wore on, it became clear that Butler did not want to be in Miami anymore. His effort on the court was lacking, and he was suspended by the team multiple times for various behind-the-scenes issues. While he initially shot down a potential trade to Golden State, Butler changed his mind and ended up approving a trade to the Warriors. Once he was there, Butler looked more like himself, averaging 17.9 points, 5.9 assists, and 5.5 rebounds per game, while shooting 47.6% from the field. The Dubs went on a run to the Western Conference semifinals before Curry suffered a hamstring strain that the team was unable to overcome, as they eventually lost in 5 games to the Minnesota Timberwolves. In the wake of the Butler trade, the Heat have been retooling their roster, and earlier this week, that involved them trading Highsmith and a 2032 second-round pick to the Nets in exchange for a protected 2026 second-round pick. Simply put, Miami was looking to free up some salary by moving from Highsmith, and in the wake of the trade, Green called out the fans who believed he should have started over Butler. Y'all, internet experts, wanted Jimmy to come off the bench behind Dude, and 5 months later the Heat traded him for a bag of chips. That's wild, Green said in a post on Threads. Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler looking to go on title run with Warriors. Highsmith took on the biggest role of his career last season with Miami, particularly after Butler was traded. In 74 games, 42 of which were starts, Highsmith averaged 6.5 points, 3.4 rebounds, and 1.5 assists per game, while shooting 45.8% from the field. He's a solid role player, but it's telling that he was moved to Brooklyn in a salary dump. Regardless of this, the only thing that matters for Green is that he and Butler are on the same squad together now, and they will have one goal for the upcoming season: win the NBA Finals. It's going to be easier said than done, but if they can get on the same page with Curry and the rest of the squad, the Warriors could turn themselves back into the dangerous squad they appeared to be last season, before they flamed out of the postseason. It's been a couple of months since Kevin Durant was traded to the Rockets. For a good portion of the offseason, when Durant was waiting to be traded, it was by far the biggest story in the NBA. Every day, we would hear new rumors about what teams were interested in him and that they were making offers, but we didn't always get the specifics of these reports that we wanted to get. One team interested in Durant at the time was the Heat. Recently, one NBA insider revealed the trade package Miami put together in their offer for Durant. What did the Heat offer for Durant? According to Heat reporter Barry Jackson, the Heat offered Andrew Wiggins, Terry Rozier, Jamie Jaquez Jr., Haywood Highsmith, and the 20th overall pick in this year's NBA draft via Legion Hoops. In the end, that was not the offer accepted, as the Rockets facilitated a trade to Phoenix's liking, acquiring the former MVP and NBA champion instead of Miami. The Suns' main acquisitions, in what ended up being a 7-team record-breaking trade, were Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, and Common Maluak. The Heat have a plethora of players after the Jimmy Butler trade, and were hoping to offload a few to attain a star player like Durant. Highsmith, who would have been in the deal, was traded to the Nets this week for financial reasons. Andrew Wiggins hasn't been traded, but was a player the Heat were open to trading this summer if the right deal was offered. Old reports suggested the possibility of a Durant trade to the Heat if certain players were included, but the Heat held off on including those players of interest. It'll be an interesting upcoming season for Miami, as they aren't in tank mode, but aren't necessarily viewed as one of the teams in the top half of the conference at this point.